Imagine a world where scientists are creating life, not as we know it, but as an entirely new form of existence. A world where the very fabric of biology could be flipped on its head, opening new possibilities and risks like never before. That's exactly what scientists are doing with the creation of something called mirror life. But here's the catch. It could change everything, and not necessarily for the better. Now, experts are calling for a global pause on these experiments, fearing that we might be tampering with something too powerful, too unpredictable, and too dangerous. Today, we're diving deep into what mirror life is, why it could pose an unprecedented risk to humanity, and why scientists are urging a temporary halt before it's too late. At its core, mirror life is the idea of creating life forms whose biological molecules are mirror images of the ones we're familiar with. Think about it. Instead of DNA, which is made up of right-handed molecules, these organisms would use left-handed molecules. This is known as chirality, a phenomenon where molecules can exist in two forms, like your left and right hands, which are mirror images but can't perfectly align. Now, scientists are experimenting with reversing the structure of DNA and RNA to create entirely new life forms. These mirror-life organisms could look, act and even reproduce like traditional organisms, but they would be made of completely different building blocks. While that might sound like science fiction, this technology could have immense potential in fields like medicine, space exploration, and even bioengineering. Imagine creating organisms that can survive extreme environments like space, or that can fight diseases in ways traditional medicine can't. The possibilities are endless. But here's the problem. Scientists aren't just concerned about the possibilities, they're worried about the unintended consequences. The issue with mirror life organisms is that they are still an unknown frontier. We don't fully understand how these synthetic organisms would interact with our ecosystems, let alone what might happen if something goes wrong. Experts have pointed out that creating synthetic life in a lab may have unpredictable ecological impacts. We don't know how these organisms will behave once they're released into the environment, and that makes it impossible to predict the long-term consequences. Could they disrupt ecosystems? Could they outcompete natural life? The potential for harm is far-reaching. Let's imagine the potential risk. If a synthetic organism were introduced into an ecosystem, it could potentially alter the delicate balance of nature. For example, a mirror-life organism might outcompete native species for resources, potentially leading to the extinction of natural life forms. Because these organisms could thrive in conditions where natural life doesn't, they might displace existing organisms or introduce new diseases to which we don't have a defense. The sheer novelty of mirror life means it could interact with ecosystems in ways that we can't yet anticipate. If these mirror organisms don't align with the natural order, they could evolve in unexpected ways, spreading through food chains or causing genetic mutations in plants and animals. Beyond ecological risks, there's another critical issue: biosecurity. These synthetic organisms could potentially be weaponized or worse, accidentally released into the environment. Unlike traditional pathogens or diseases, mirror organisms would be incredibly hard to recognize and contain because they don't exist in nature. A synthetic organism created in a lab may not follow the same rules of biology as natural life. If it were to escape or be deliberately released, containment could be virtually impossible. Worse yet, these organisms could evolve faster than our ability to monitor or control them. Imagine a new bioweapon that evolves independently, undetectable by our current scientific methods. The introduction of synthetic life forms into our environment is risky. It's like opening a Pandora's box, and once it's opened, we might not be able to close it again. Aside from the environmental and biosecurity risks, there are ethical concerns that we can't ignore. Are we ready to play the role of creator, to design and introduce new forms of life into our world without fully understanding the consequences? Ethical questions about synthetic life are complex. If we create new organisms, Do we have a moral responsibility for their impact on our planet? Could they evolve in ways we don't intend? Could they suffer? And perhaps most importantly, who decides if we should create such life in the first place? We're entering uncharted territory. As technology advances, the ethical lines between humanity's role in creation and natural order are becoming increasingly blurred. To address these concerns, scientists around the world are calling for a temporary global pause on the creation of mirror life. They argue that it's not just about slowing progress, it's about responsibility. This pause isn't about halting all research, but ensuring that we fully understand the implications of these new technologies before proceeding further. It's about taking the time to carefully assess the risks and make sure we are developing safety protocols that can prevent accidental harm. So, where does this leave us? With a pause in place, what happens next? Will this moratorium give us the chance to reassess these technologies and create a safer approach to developing synthetic life? While the world waits for more answers, public discussion will play a huge role in shaping what comes next. It's not just about scientists. We all have a stake in how these technologies evolve. Should we push the boundaries of life creation, or should we proceed with caution? The question remains, how far should we go? We stand at a crossroads where science and ethics must meet. Mirror life may be the future, but at what cost? As we move forward, one thing is clear. This debate is just beginning. We must be careful and considerate, not just of our curiosity, but of the impact we have on the world around us. After all, creating life comes with a heavy responsibility. So what do you think? Is humanity ready to dive into the creation of new forms of life, or should we take a step back and assess the risks more carefully? Mirror life could be the next big breakthrough in science, but with such power comes great responsibility. As we venture into uncharted territory, we must ask ourselves, are we truly prepared for the consequences of altering the very nature of life itself? This conversation is only just beginning. As we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, it's more important than ever to stay informed, ask tough questions, and have open debates about the ethical implications of these technologies. What happens next could shape the future of life on Earth, and perhaps even the entire universe. We want to hear your thoughts. Should we be more cautious, or is it time to leap forward and explore the vast possibilities of synthetic life? Do you think the risks outweigh the potential benefits? Or do you trust scientists to handle the unknowns? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is a conversation we should all be having. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date on all things science, tech and ethical debates, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you won't miss any of our future content. We're diving deep into the big questions that could define our future, and we'd love for you to be part of the conversation. Thank you so much for watching. Your curiosity is what drives these discussions forward. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and always keep asking why. See you in the next video.